Okay, so a little fun here, guys. We'll just watch the Hail Mary catch. I'm not putting on audio just in case, but this is a very awesome catch. Nail biter catch. John Hawkins, best receiver in the league. They defeat the Buffalo Bills last week. I watched this game. 32-30. Good game. And yeah. There you go, right? So I just want to start off something fun like that for you guys to see. But that was last week, right, guys? And this week is a very interesting sports week. And so welcome to Why We Love Sports episode 4. And this might be a longer episode than normal. Because of what's going on, specifically in the NBA. Specifically what's going on in the NBA. You know what? I'll get to the end of the show, the NBA stuff, because there's a lot going on. There's still stuff trickling in, and it's going to take a while. You remember we had the draft, we had free agency, trade rumors, trades. But I'm going to talk briefly about golf. I'm not into golf. I know a lot of people are into golf, but we know the Masters are last week, and at Augusta, the green jacket. Whoever wins the Masters gets the green jacket, and the winner was Dustin Johnson, who previously had COVID. End up winning the Masters and getting the green jacket at Augusta. Now, there's going to be another Augusta back in April, so they're going to have like 2 Augustas, 2 Masters in less than 1 year. Now, I'm thankful, I'm grateful for Dustin Johnson. I'm happy for Dustin Johnson for winning the Masters, becoming one of the golf players to win the green jacket. Something bright in his tough times that we're going through right now. And that's basically much all I have to say about golf. And I'm gonna save NBA off for last because there's a lot of stuff in the NBA, and that could be a long discussion. I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe to an hour long. And as it goes on, I have my phone here just in case I get notifications of more NBA news comes trickling in, maybe more trades, more signings. Got Adrian Roosbaum, Sham coming in with scoops about trades and free agency signings. And that could take a long time. So I'm going to do it at the end. And if something pops up, if I get a notification during another topic, I'll mention it. But right now, that is not the case because I'm going to go straight to baseball. Not much on the free agent front. All I'm going to tell you is that LeMahieu's preferred destination is New York. The Yankees and the Mets are the top 2 favorites. And the Blue Jays are third, apparently. Third are in discussion, in the running for him, but I don't know. But he prefers the top 2 New York teams, the Mets and the Yankees. And with the Mets, the thing is with the Mets, specifically, the Mets just got 20-something million off the books because guess what? Robinson Cano got busted a second time for violating the not just steroid, but for violating baseball's rule about performing enhancing drugs, and now he got busted for Strazio, something like that. This drug apparently was a drug that was used by Ben Johnson. If you don't know who Ben Johnson is, you Canadians, if you're Canadian, you definitely know who Ben Johnson is. And if you don't, you might remember him, Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson was in the Summer Olympics in '88. I think it was in Spain. If '88 was Spain, Barcelona, Spain, correct me if I'm wrong. Just type in, tell me if I'm wrong. But Ben Johnson was a Canadian sprinter for Canada. He won the gold, but later it was found out he violated the drug policy, and it was the same, and had the gold strip taken away from him and given to Carl Lewis, and who is controversially people believe Carl Lewis illegally did whatever steroids, whatever was used. And if you're Canada, you know Ben Johnson, you know that story very well. So this is what happened with Cano. It's the second time. So the first time he got suspended, he kind of said a statement. He kind of had a posted something why he thought why he tested positive. If you remember 2018, I don't remember exact details, but I did read it. This time he got busted for another thing, and the second time you get busted for violating the baseball drug policy, you get suspended for a whole season, 162 games without pay. So for him, he's making over 20 million. So he doesn't get 20 million or plus this year. And that saves immense money. Who plans to spend a lot of money this offseason? Plans to spend a lot of money this offseason. And now getting Cano's money off the book for 1 year lets him have more money to spend on like the Mayhew, William Muto, maybe a couple pitchers. But what does this do to Robinson Cano's legacy? Now Robinson Cano has a great career from New York, Seattle, one of the best second basemen in the last 15 years, offensively and defensively wise. But this hurts his legacy as a potential Hall of Famer because he has all the numbers to be a Hall of Famer. If you retired before this policy, he would have been in the Hall of Fame. But since he got busted second time, I would say his chances for the Hall of Fame are not going to happen. The writers who have the way to vote for who gets in the Hall of Fame, they're not going to vote Robinson Cano in because they're suspicious on Bonds and Clemens, right? They're very suspicious on Bonds, Clemens, and certain other players. But with Cano getting busted, that's a whole new story because they know that he's cheated twice. And this is make him a better player than he really was. No, this happened. This is the second time in the past 2 years. But with Cano getting busted, actually, yeah, it's the past 2 years. Now I'm sorry, but Cano, I know there's fans of him, but he's not going to go in the Hall of Fame because of this. Maybe later, and speaking of Hall of Fame, this Hall of Fame is kind of complicated, right? There's no clear-cut winner. Like last year, we had Jeter, obviously was Hall of Famer. Year before, we had there was a couple guys. You know who the clear-cut guys are going to Hall of Fame. So you can make arguments for different players going to Hall of Fame this year. Yeah, like Torrey Hunter, guys like Billy Wagner. We don't know. It'll be a surprise this year in the Hall of Fame because there's no clear-cut Hall of Famers for this inductee. Next year will be for David Ortiz. Obviously, he's going to get in the Hall of Fame. No writer's going to leave him off. This year, it's going to be a little different. I don't know if anybody's going to get 80%. Some people are going to get 70%. I don't know how many you're going to get, maybe one or two. But there's there's not going to be a 90% Hall of Fame or even an 80% Hall of Famer. I guarantee you that. And also there's going to be 2 voted in, not by the writers, but by the Hall of Fame committee or whatever. And most of the time, those players don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. For example, like Harold Baines is in the Hall of Fame, and we all know who watched Harold Baines play. Solid player, but not Hall of Fame caliber player. All right. And that's with baseball. I don't know what's happening in baseball. I did an MLB trade rumors free agency predictions. Right. If go MLB.com, MLB trade rumors, and you can make sure to scroll for free agent predictions. The 50 top free agents, and you get to pick which team you think they're going to sign with, which I did. I loved it. I do it every year. It's fun. NHL. Now, the NHL is kind of in a predicament right here. Because the NHL, it seems like the PA and the NHL are having issues. Now, they're willing to defer 13% of salaries, but the NHL wants them to defer more. And it's really interesting. Is there going to be a season? But a consensus amongst agents in the NHL that there is going to be a season starting January 1st. So a month and a half away from possibly an NHL season, January 1st, which I'm excited for. We're getting NBA in about a month. Well, the first NBA season game will be in about a month. But we're going to get preseason from December 11th to the 19th, 3 or 4 games, right? Teams get to choose if they want to play 4 games. And Toronto has moved. The Raptors are in Tampa Bay. Now, I'm excited because I know there's going to be a Canadian division in Canada with all 7 teams. I mentioned this before in last week's episode, but I'm going to go over it again. Toronto Maple Leafs, Ottawa Senators, Montreal Canadiens, all on the East Coast and the West Coast. Even though Winnipeg's not really in the West Coast, but it's in the Western Division. Winnipeg Jets, Alberta, you have Flames, Calgary Flames, Edmonton Oilers, and British Columbia, you have who are they? Vancouver Canucks. So we're gonna get a Canadian division with all 7 teams. Interesting. It's gonna get a lot of ratings because in the Canada market, especially in the Canadian broadcasting, Canadian teams, do they match up with each other, always do high in ratings, always gets people's attention, especially with Hockey Night in Canada. If you're Canadian, Hockey Night in Canada is every Saturday night. Something special. Toronto, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, special. Calgary, Edmonton, special. I mean, any Canadian team versus any Canadian team is a special game. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter which Canadian team plays each other. It's just a special game. It just gets people's attention. And if you're Canadian, you know how much Canadian teams facing each other mean to us. Canada, Toronto Maple Leafs rivalry with Montreal and Ottawa, who kicked their ass 4 years in a row in the playoffs in the early 2000s. I'm sorry, I'm rubbing it in center fans, but it's true. Calgary and Alberta's rivalry. Not Calgary and Alberta's rivalry. The Calgary's in Alberta. I mean, Calgary and Edmonton's rivalry. Yeah, it's going to be sad. They won't face American teams. But maybe as the year goes on, 2021, when things look like it's going to get better, I think it's going to get better. Maybe they'll face the American teams, guys. I do want to see American teams face Canadian teams. I don't think they're going to face every American team, but I think mostly like the Eastern teams, like Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, might face the Eastern teams only. Like, for example, Detroit, Columbus, both New York teams, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, Florida, Buffalo, and then in the West Coast you have Calgary, as I said, Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, and then maybe they face like Seattle's expansion team, so they won't be here till next season. So let's go Vegas, Dallas, Minnesota, St. Louis, Chicago. Go to California, you got Anaheim, San Jose, Los Angeles, Dallas, and in Texas. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean. That's what I think is gonna happen. Now let's see what else. I want to go to basketball right now. Yeah, let's go into basketball. So we got a huge trade earlier this week before the draft. The Drew Holiday is going to Milwaukee, but this turned out to be like a 4-player deal finalized today. So Drew Holiday is going to Milwaukee. Eric Bledsoe is going to the Pelicans. George Hill we thought was going to the Pelicans, but it turns out it's going to go to he's going to go to I think he's going to Oklahoma because Steven Adams is now being included in that deal to going to the Pelicans. Yeah, it's become a 4-team deal with Milwaukee and Drew Holiday. Now, with Milwaukee, remember the guy, Bruce Bogdanovich from Sacramento, but apparently Bruce Bogdanovich had a no trade clause or something like that, and it was kind of like tampering is getting involved, and NBA is kind of investigating that, and he's not going to Milwaukee. So that's a big deal because he's a good 3-point shooter. He averaged like 15.9 points for Sacramento last season. And he would definitely help Milwaukee because if he doesn't sign a supermax, the Greek free Giannis Antetokounmpo is a free agent, and he can sign anywhere. Now we got the possible rumor destinations. All we hear is Miami, Golden State, and Toronto. That's if he doesn't sign a supermax. Now with the trades for Drew Holiday, people are assuming, he's going to sign a supermax. No, that's not what it means. It means Milwaukee is giving one last attempt to show that Giannis had to care about winning the championship. Kind of like Toronto, when Toronto traded DeMar DeRozan, Jakob Poeltl to San Antonio, they got Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green. Kawhi Leonard's a free agent next season. But they wanted to win the championship now, and they knew by getting Kawhi Leonard, they have a very good chance of winning the championship. And they did, and when Kawhi Leonard left. This is what it's like in Golden State, and not in Golden State, Milwaukee. And we'll see if we'll see what Giannis does. If he signs a supermax or he releases a free agent. And in the NBA, players don't always stay with one team. The top stars end up mostly leaving in the NBA. LeBron, Kawhi, Anthony Davis got traded. Kevin Durant. Usually, superstars end up leaving their teams. There really is no loyalty in the NBA among players. Even though Westbrook did commit that he was loyal to Oklahoma before getting traded to Houston. And now, apparently, segue to Houston, right? To James Harden. Now he apparently wants out. Like Westbrook wants out. So Houston wants out of. Houston has 2 star players that went out apparently, and James Harden looks like 2 teams that want him are Philadelphia and Brooklyn. Now with Brooklyn, he would join up with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. I don't see how they'll fit because all 3 of them, Kevin Durant less more so, but all 3 of them need the majority of the ball. They're all scorers. Durant's a pure scorer. Irving is a pure scoring point guard, and Harden's a pure scoring point guard. I don't know if they can share. I think their egos are too big. Kyrie Irving, I don't trust Kyrie Irving. I mean, I'd rather have Durant over Kyrie Irving. I don't trust Kyrie Irving. And Harden, he's not a proven winner in the playoffs. He doesn't win in the playoffs. And Westbrook wants out, right? But what if Philadelphia offer Harden? For Harden, they probably want Ben Simmons. The Walkers probably want Ben Simmons because if Ben Simmons and Harden's on the same team, same thing is going to happen. Ben Simmons can't shoot. He doesn't shoot. And Ben Simmons needs to hold the ball. He's a small forward playing point guard. And Harden, even though he gets 10 assists, stuff like that, needs the ball most of the time. And he gets like 35 points a game. 35 points a game. Also, guys, now Westbrook wants out. Now, apparently, John Wall wants out of Washington. Apparently, there are probably discussions of Houston and Washington talking about possibly trading John Wall to Houston for Russell Westbrook, and they do make around the same money, same amount of money. I don't know what the years are like on Wall, but I know they make around the same kind of dough, around the 40 million mark. And but with Wall, he's been injury prone, and Harden has been healthy. I'll give him that. Not Harden. Westbrook has been healthy. So Wall is a good point guard defensively. He can pass. He's fast, but he's not a particularly good shooter. And in Houston, you need good shooters around someone like Wall. So they probably have to give up a first rounder along with Wall for Westbrook if that trade happens. I think Westbrook will get traded. I don't know if it's Washington. If there's rumors are true that he might get traded to Washington, so be it. I mean, what does that do for Bradley Beal? Right? Washington still has Bradley Beal there. There's always been trade rumors about Bradley Beal being traded. Remember, Raw and Bradley Beal were going to be the two building blocks that Washington's going to build around. They had Gortat at one point, Trevor Ariza. They never got to the next level. So let's discuss some free agency size. Now the Toronto Raptors. Okay, let me not. Can't find them on here. The Toronto Raptors. We signed point guard Fred VanVleet, undrafted Fred VanVleet from Wichita State, to a 4-year deal worth $85 million spread over 4 years. So it's about 22 point something for 4 years. But it's really 3 years where the fourth year is an option. So a solid deal. I think they drafted a point guard in this Wednesday's draft. What's his name? Malachi Flynn. It's a point guard, defender, could shoot a bit, could pass. I think what this signals is that Lowry's a free agent in the next season, and that's $30 million off the books. I think what the Raptors have planned here is have Lowry for one more season, and then eventually Fred VanVleet becomes a point guard, and Malachi Flynn becomes that backup guard. And Raptors can spend that money maybe on Giannis, or maybe on other free agents, because it's a strong free agent class after next season. Let's take a look on what's the website? There's a website that you can look up free agents for basketball, baseball, football, and hockey. It's a very good site. So that's what I think is going to happen. Fred VanVleet can shoot, defend. My problem with Fred VanVleet is that his height is a problem. Because when he goes inside, he tends to get blocked a lot and defended very well when he goes inside. And with Lowry there, because Fred started as shooting guard with Lowry, the Raptors have a short backcourt. I don't like that. I don't like that. I just don't like that. I think that's dangerous. When they face a team of length, they struggle, especially the backcourt. All you gotta do is a strong guard defender on these two who have length, and especially in Fred VanVleet, because he's fast, but he's not burst. He doesn't have the burst like Lowry does. And Lowry's kind of stronger, Fred VanVleet, because when Lowry goes inside, he can out muscle. He's strong. Fred doesn't have that. So that's my worry. They still got a back out there. Maybe he's leaving. Gasol, I think, is gone. You can see him. He's really not worth signing anymore. He's better off like a 10-minute guy, backup, provide you good defense, good leadership, but he's really not like the player he once was. Helped him win the championship, but you can see it that age is catching up to him and the beating is catching up to him. and I'll be right back. I gotta get a drink. I'm thirsty. Yeah, I'm back with some orange juice. I'm thirsty. Very thirsty. Now, let's see. Let me check my phone, people. Let's see. If anything interesting news came up. Because, stuff could be trickling in, especially in the NBA. Mo Harkless, yeah, he signed a 3.6 deal with Miami. Good for him. And Miami, we signed Gordon Dragic, Miles Leonard, Kelly Olynyk exercised his option. Denzel Valentine of Chicago Bulls signed his qualifying offer with the Bulls. Here's big news. Gordon Hayward signed a 4-year deal with the Charlotte Bobcats for $120 million for 4 years, so $30 million. So he declined at $34 million just to sign for $30 million a year. Maybe I guess he wanted a longer term. Whatever. Michael Carter Williams is going back to the Magic. Okay. Oh, how about this? Not leaving the area, not leaving the city, but leaving the team, but going to the other team in the city. Montrezl Harrell, 6th Man of the Year award winner, is going to join LeBron and Davis to become the rebounder to the Los Angeles Lakers. I guess he figured he can't win a championship with the Clippers. And there's been all sorts of issues with the Clippers. They haven't taken this stuff seriously with the bubble. They have issues with Kawhi. So he's going to the Lakers, where he has a better chance of winning a title with LeBron and Anthony Davis. And speaking of the Lakers, he traded Danny Green, right, to the Oklahoma. Traded Danny Green, somebody else, I forget who, to Oklahoma on the draft pick to get Dennis Schroeder, who would be a perfect scorer off the bench for them. And you know what happens with Danny Green? Got moved around. What about this news? Former 9th overall pick in the 2016 draft? Yeah, I think it's a 16 draft. Jakob Poeltl, but drafted by the Raptors originally, part of that Kawhi DeMar DeRozan trade, signed for 3 years, $27 million by Spurs to be signed by the Spurs for $9 million a year. Good move. Solid center, could play defense. Solid move. The players are getting paid, man. Players are getting paid this offseason in the NBA. It's crazy, though. Milwaukee we signed Pat Connaughton to a 2-year deal, $8.3 million. Okay. Jeff Green is going to the Nets, apparently. So the Steve Adams trade to Pelicans includes Denver, which traded a 2023 lottery pick, 2023 lottery first round protected for a 24th pick, who was RJ Hampton on draft night. That pick is handed to the Thunders along with 2 seconds for Adams. Okay. So let's get to the draft. So I didn't know much of these players because I didn't get to watch the NCAA tournament. That was canceled, right? And they're planning to have the NCAA basketball season start this week, coming up week. And they're planning to have a March Madness. Hopefully things go swell for them without any problems, without any issues. NCAA football, I'm looking at you. So, for the first overall pick by Minnesota, they drafted Anthony Edwards, talented, but from what I hear, they don't like his attitude. The people don't really like his attitude. Says he doesn't really watch basketball. If you don't watch basketball, I don't know. I want Timberwolves fans. Tell me how you feel. Maybe I'll get somebody on board. Let me try it. Let me get somebody. Who's a Minnesota guy? Nope. Let me try something. Oh, no. So second overall goes to Golden State. They drafted James Wiseman. Third overall goes to Charlotte Hornets, drafting LeVar Ball's son, other son, not the medal, whatever his name is. Third overall, Bobcats. Those are the Bobcats are trying to take it to the next level. Got Terry Rozier. Who was that other guy? Gordon Hayward just signed. They're getting rid of Nicholas Batum apparently today. And they got this guy. So they're clearly building on ball. You got Malik Monk. Malik Monk. I need to search something up real quick. Okay, I think. No. Okay. Let me get something like my headset. If you want to join, I'll let them in. Somebody I know. 4 more minutes. Somebody, if he wants to come in, he could talk more about Minnesota stuff. Let me check my settings because I have my headset in now. Hello. Okay. And who the next guy? Tippin. I think that's who they were targeting all along. Honestly, I wasn't hyped for this draft. I don't know why I wasn't hyped for this draft. I guess it's because of the pandemic. Didn't even get to see these guys what they're capable of. It's just sad. But it's not their fault. Let's see what else. Any other rumors? You never know. Stuff could be trickling in. So okay. By the way, did you guys like the new fleet? On Twitter? Okay. Okay, so we got NFL. So this past Thursday, Seattle beat the Cardinals. And let's look at the divisions right now. Let's look at the division. I got my app here. My app's right here. Let's look at the divisions in the NFL. Let's go through division by division, and I'll do conference by conference. So Buffalo leads the AFC East with the record 7-3, one game up on Miami. So Miami is not far behind. Buffalo has to worry. Now, game against the Cardinals really affected that. Pittsburgh's 9-0, Baltimore 6-3, Cleveland 6-3. So the AFC North is strong. Cincinnati's 2-6. AFC South, Tennessee and Indianapolis both 6-3. Houston 2-7, Jacksonville 1-8. AFC West, Kansas City's 8-1, Las Vegas 6-3, Denver 3-6, Los Angeles 2-7, despite having a good quarterback by a rookie. Los Angeles 2-7. Now let's go to NFC. No, NFC. First, then let's go to the conference. So Pittsburgh is in the number one spot, 9-0. Kansas City is number 2, 8-1. Buffalo 7-3. Is in the third spot. Indianapolis is 6-3. Las Vegas is 6-3. So Indianapolis and Las Vegas are both 4-5. Miami is 6-3 at 6. Baltimore 6-3 at 7. Cleveland 6-3 at 8. Tennessee is 6-3 at 9. New England has a chance, but it's a very tight race for the last few seeds and possibly divisions in the AFC. Now let's go back to the standings for the NFC. So the NFC East, the worst division in all sports in the whole freaking world. Philadelphia leads 3-5, New York 3-7, Washington 2-7, Dallas 2-7. I think there's a very strong possibility, over 50%, the winner of this division is going to be under 500, and that's a disgrace to good teams. I mean, anybody can win this division. No team is out, right? Let's go to NFC North. Green Bay 7-2, Chicago's 5-5, Minnesota's 4-5, Detroit's 4-5. So Green Bay is clearly going to win this division, but the other teams are very close to each other. It's a tight, possibly for the wild card spots. NFC South, New Orleans 7-2, and that may change because the injury to Drew Brees. And let's talk about that. That's a devastating injury, and they're not going Jameis Winston. They're going with Hill as a quarterback. I guess because they don't want interception and turnovers by Jameis Winston. Atlanta's 3-6, Carolina's 3-7. In the NFC West, very strong division. Seattle 7-3, a great win over Arizona. Los Angeles 6-3, Arizona 6-4, and San Francisco's 4. You can hear, besides the NFC East, the NFC is strong. It's a stronger division. It sounds like, right? Stronger conference. Now, let's go by conference NFC in the NFC. Okay. Green Bay is leading in number 1 seed. New Orleans is number 2 seed. Seattle's number 3. Philadelphia is 4 because of the record. The top 4 seeds go by division leaders. And yeah, I know Philadelphia, in mine and probably everybody else's view, they should not be a 4 seed. They shouldn't even be in the playoffs. But that's how it works because they're the leader of the fucking division. Tampa Bay 7-3 at 5. Los Angeles 6-3 at 6. Arizona 6-4 at 7. Chicago's 5-5 at 8. Minnesota's 4-5 at 9. Detroit's 4-5 at 10. San Francisco's 4-6. 11. Atlanta's 3-6. New York, Carolina, Washington, Dallas are all 13-16. And Washington, Dallas, and New York could end up being a 4th seed. The 4th seed because Philadelphia is a 4th seed, and they can end up moving up, and Philadelphia can end up moving down. Anything could change. Great chance anything could change in the NFC East. Determine the seeds in the NFC, the NFC conference. Now, I gotta make predictions. So let's look at the schedule. Let's look at the schedule coming up. Sunday, Titans and Ravens. That could be a good game. 2 good teams. I'm going to go with Ravens here to win. No, we got Lions and Panthers. I'm going with Lions here to beat the Panthers. Now, Philadelphia Eagles, and who play the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland. I think I'm going to go with Cleveland here to win. Patriots and Texans. I'm going to the Patriots to beat the Texans. Steelers and Jaguars. No contest. Steelers are going to beat the Jaguars. Jaguars should do what it takes to get Trevor Lawrence as a future quarterback, but the Jets are making it hard for them to do that. Bengals and Washington. Any team could go. I'm going to go with Washington to win here. Miami over Denver. I can see Miami's going to beat Denver. Chargers over the Jets. No question about it. I mean, the Jets are 2-7. And the Chargers are 2-7, and the Jets are winless. But Chargers, Justin Herbert sounds like it's going to be a future star quarterback for them. So even though they're 2-7, I'm going to go with the Chargers here. Packers and the Colts in Indianapolis. I'm going to go with the Colts to win. Vikings and Cowboys. I'm going with Vikings to beat the Cowboys. Dallas is in Minnesota. I'm going to go with the Vikings. Chiefs and Raiders in Oakland. Rivalry. I'm going to go with the Chiefs to beat the Raiders. Monday's game, Rams and Buccaneers. I'm going to take the Buccaneers to beat the Rams. Now, since next week's episode is Saturday, there's a few games this Thursday for Thanksgiving in the States. I celebrate Thanksgiving in Canada, which is in October, on a Monday in October. But in the States, Thanksgiving is 2 days, Thursday and Friday. And Thursday is going to have 3 NFL games. So I'm going to do early predictions for those right now to see what the games are. Texans and Lions. Yeah, that's always a tradition to have the Detroit Lions playing Thanksgiving. I'm going to go with Detroit to beat the Texans. Washington and Dallas. I'm going to go with Dallas to beat Washington here. And Steelers and Ravens. I think this is where Pittsburgh loses their first game of the season. I'm going to go with the upset here in Baltimore to beat the Steelers on Thanksgiving Thursday. Those are my NFL predictions. Tell me yours. So, as I said, Drew Brees is out. I don't know. He's probably out for the year. So going over Jameson Winston. That tells you that they don't have faith in Jameson Winston because he is a turnover machine. He is a turnover machine, right? Let's show you another sports clip. Any good sports clip here? What good sports clip is so? Yes. No, there's nothing here. Oh, I know a good sports clip. Oh, I want to talk about a subject about No. Let's talk about Hall of Fame in baseball. We're going to talk about a player who should be in the Hall of Fame, but is not. I don't know if it's aggressive PEDs, but I'm gonna go. But I'm gonna go with former Texas Ranger, former Detroit Tiger, and former Cleveland Indian for 1 year, Juan Gonzalez. Let's see. Here. Juan Gonzalez. So this is, as you can see, this has been taking place in 1996 American League Division Series. Juan Gonzalez against the Yankees. But we all know the Yankees won the World Series that year. And he is not in the Hall of Fame. And I'm gonna go to let's go to his reference. So okay. Baseball references. Okay, stats. Okay. So he played 17 years in the majors. Drafted by Texas, obviously. Look at those numbers. How many 40 home run seasons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 40 home run seasons, it looks like. 157 RBI season in 98. A 318 average. Shit. Look at these numbers. 434 career home runs, 1404 RBIs. Didn't steal a lot of bases, not. His average is 295. On base is 343. He didn't strike out a lot per game. He didn't walk a lot, but he was a hell of a hitter. Doubles. He gets a lot of doubles and home runs. In the 90s, yeah, it's because of the steroid era. It might seem like, oh, he's probably juiced. I'm not sure if he's one of the players that people are suspicious of home run numbers. But to me, my guess is he is. That's the only reason he's not in the Hall of Fame. But if it's not, I'm sorry, but these are Hall of Fame numbers. Kind of like Gary Sheffield, but we know Gary Sheffield. It's a different story. But to me, Juan Gonzalez is a Hall of Famer. I remember I told you the story last week when I saw Sabathia play in 2001. Juan Gonzalez is part of that team. It's part of that team in 2001, right here, where he hit 35 home runs, 140 RBIs, and a 325 average, and base percentage of 370. Yeah, he doesn't have a 400 on base percentage because he didn't walk a lot. But the benefit of that is that he didn't strike out a lot either. His most is 126 in 154 games. You would think as a slugger would strike out a lot more. But he did. It means he made contact. He had a lot of home runs, but he made contact. And I think people have to take a look back. I think they have to take a look back. Writers, whatever, have to take a look back and Juan Gonzalez say, you know who should have been a Hall of Famer? Juan Gonzalez. And let's see if there's any news. Any news? We know never something rumor could break. And if we're ending strong and some baseball cards, not much. Not much. Let's see who it is. Oh, Chris Dunn. Oh yeah, I forgot about that signing 2-year deal with Atlanta. I like that deal. I'm sorry. There's something I left out was funny. Okay, there's nothing there. Nothing. There'll probably be more news later tonight. You know, NBA free agency is one of the best. The best. Remember when LeBron signed to the Lakers? Kawhi went to the Clippers. Oh my God! Every year. The thing with the star players leaving, all started with LeBron in 2009, 2010, when him and Bosh went to Miami to form the Outsiders. Dwayne Wade. Okay, not the All-Stars, but like the end. That gif when Hogan turned on WCW and joined Nash and Hall to form the NWO at Bash at the Beach. It's like that, and I can't wait for it. And next year's offseason NBA free agency frenzy has the potential to be even better than this one because there's not a lot of star players that are free agents this year. Like only one is Anthony Davis, and he's guaranteed to be signed with the Lakers next year. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, LeBron, potentially, but some of the player options are team options. So, what I do before I end the show, let's show you some baseball cards. So I believe I got this pack at a Blue Jay game. Went to a Blue Jays game. I went to the gift shop, not the gift shop, but concessions in the stadium. The gift shop's outside or in a different location at their stadium. And I saw Topps cards, right? So I decided to buy them. So here, take a look. Ian Kennedy, the Kansas City Royals. Julio Urias, who had a big role in the World Series this year of the LA Dodgers. Troy Tulowitzki, who had to retire because of injuries. And this is a card when he was on the Blue Jays. Danny Duffy, pitcher for the Kansas City Royals. Solid pitcher. Any team would be lucky to have him as a left-handed pitcher. Mike Leake. He was solid for a bit. He's much of a journeyman pitcher now. A National League checklist, nothing major. Justice Smoke, former Blue Jay, former Brewer, solid player. John Lester, who's now a free agent. He's now a free agent. This is on the Cubs. Giancarlo Stanton, Silver Slugger. Chris Sale was in Boston. Still is Boston. Eric Freddy, I don't know who this is. Adam Wainwright is a free agent, but this is when he was St. Louis. He'd be a solid veteran pickup for a good price. Mike Clevenger, who's just undergone Tommy John surgery. This is him on Cleveland. Now he's part of San Diego, but as I say, he went under for Tommy John surgery. Hunter Renfroe. This is him on San Diego. We got traded to Tampa Bay in the offseason for Tommy Pham. Dansby Swanson, who really developed into a solid shortstop for Atlanta, former number 1 pick by Arizona. Andrew McCutcheon, a solid career, still playing for Philadelphia. Luis Berdino, I don't know him much. I think I heard of him. Alex Avila, solid catcher, solid for a lot of years. Carlos Grasso, who survived cancer, ran under cancer, solid pitcher. Polton pair. Yeah. Clayton Kershaw. Best left-handed pitcher in the last decade. Parker Bridwell, rookie card. Don't know much about him. Tim Anderson. Well, hell of a hitter for a shortstop. Hit like 350 this year. And Jimmy Sherfy. Don't know. Haven't heard much about him either. I don't know who he is. So those are all my cards I'm going to show you for now. I want to buy more cards. I want to collect more sports cards. But I'm mostly a baseball collector, but I want to get into basketball, hockey, and football and get back into baseball collecting. And I'm going to start that in 2021. And then I'm going to have some unboxing videos. And maybe I'll unbox them on here for all you people to see. I got more in there, but that's for another time. So, So that's all the sports news week. Let me just make sure. Anything comes up. Anything comes up before I end this. Because next week I'll probably make a video again. Explaining what happens in Newsweek. Sports. No. So before I go, for your wrestling guys, I'm gonna make a Survivor Series video. I'm not gonna stream it. It's just gonna be a regular video. I'm gonna have pictures of each competitor matches, then talk about it, and then a picture again the match. Like for example, I'm gonna start with a picture of Sasuke. I'm not gonna start, but for example, say I start with Asuka and have a picture of Sasuke on one side, Asuka on the other side, and then after that, you see a video of me talking about it, and then whatever match is next. For Bobby Lashley for Sami Zayn, that's gonna be the next picture. I'm gonna talk about it. The next picture, you get it what I mean. And the face, I'm not really looking for this pay-per-view. It has no build-up, has no suspense, and there's nothing to look forward to for each brand. What do the brands get for winning? So being on the lookout for my Survivor Series predictions and what I think might happen. Because I want to go in depth. I'm not just going to predict. I'm going to go into detail what I think is the possible outcomes, what I think is going to happen. And then maybe later tonight, I might stream NBA 2K21 or another game. I wish I could stream Assassin's Creed Valhalla off Xbox. I'm too lazy to get my capture card. And then tomorrow, I'm going to do a watch along for Survivor Series. I'm going to stream earlier in the day, watch along for Survivor Series, and a review for Survivor Series. And that's it. Thank you for listening. So like, comment, subscribe down below. Thank you. Thank you.